So this is the second video I've done since Parliament's been back sitting virtually. This week I raised my first question in the House of Commons chamber virtually. It is quite a tricky thing really, engaging in Parliament virtually. It's quite a strange sensation. Not quite sure whether the same dress code applies as it does when you're in the chamber. I wasn't quite sure whether I should wear a suit and tie. Decided to now wear a suit and tie though, and after some questions were raised about my scruffy hair, I've decided to try and pay more attention to that. Important issues raised in Parliament this week. Firstly, I raised with the Attorney General what we've seen in Ipswich with some individuals deciding just deliberately spit and cough at police officers to use the coronavirus as a way of threatening our police officers.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Over recent weeks, we have seen a shameful trend of suspected criminals spitting and coughing at police officers. There have been a number of cases of this in my constituency of Ipswich. This is a particularly pernicious form of assault during COVID-19 outbreak, and those responsible must have their day in court, and that day must come quickly so they can be duly punished and so others can be deterred from doing so. What steps is my right honourable friend taking to ensure that the CPS is right behind our police in prosecuting those responsible for this horrible crime and bringing them to justice quickly?
This is completely unacceptable, and I'm glad that the government have increased the maximum sentence for this from 6 months in prison to 12 months in prison. I know some of you would like more than that, but it's clearly a step in the right direction. My duties on the Education Select Committee continue. This week we quizzed the Secretary of State for Education and also the Chief Inspector from Ofsted. This provided a really fantastic opportunity for me to raise directly with the powers that be the things that concern my constituents the most about the education system at the moment. Next week we'll be discussing mental health issues as well. Talks with Tom continue to go from strength to strength. I've had lots of conversations this week with constituents, elderly constituents, one of whom who's lived in Ipswich for 80 years, and he's been lived in South West Ipswich for 80 years. So it's fascinating to talk with him about how the town's changed over the last 80 years, and also great conversation with Maureen about her experience living in Ipswich. Lots of conversations, so please do get in touch if you'd like to have a chat with me. Rest assured, I drive a lot from conversations as well, so I'm enjoying the chats. So hopefully it helps you if you get in contact with me, but it also helps me. I very much enjoy the conversations, and the more thoughts of Tom, the better.